So now we are going to start from here. Now Krishna is giving us a formula. Now he is giving us a formula. What happens with the mind? What happens with the mind, and what is the outcome of the life that we lead? And the way of life that we lead, and the way we do things. What is the outcome? So he gives us an outline. See, if you are doing work in the way you have been doing, so this is where you will be, you will land up. So you need to change your, your behavior. You need to change your way of working. You don't need to change your work. You don't need to change your activities. You don't need to change your, life. You need to change, the way you have been, we have been approaching life. This you have to change. And if you can change this, then you change everything, So now he says that dhayate vishan pumsham sangasteshu pajayate. It's very important. Dhayato vishan pumsham sangasteshu pajayate sangyat sanjayate kama kamat krodho vijayate krodhat bhavati sammoha sammohat smriti vibhrama smriti bhrangshat buddhinasho buddhinashat pranashati. So this is these are the two slokas, these are two verses. In these two verses he is explaining the way we lead our life, and the way we lead our life, what is the outcome? What is the outcome? Where do we end up? So he says, dhayate vishayan pumsham sangasteshu pajayate. Like we all know that our day starts with our activities, our karmas, our actions. And while we are doing any action, while we are performing action, what we are doing is we are dwelling in various objects. This. Every time we are dwelling in various objects. So we think that we are dwelling within these objects, and there is nothing wrong in this, or we are just dwelling this, and that's it. There is no consequence of this. That is what we think. But what happens is that whenever we are approaching the objects, and we are dwelling within the objects, knowingly or unknowingly. Because most of the time we dwell within objects or within things in this world, unknowingly, unwillingly. We are just moving around, and our eyes are open, our ears are open, our nose is open. So we are just moving around, and we think that we are just moving around and paying attention in nothing. But this is not the case. Everything is getting absorbed. Everything is getting absorbed by the senses. Though I am aware about it or not, wherever I go, whatever I do, my being in life, or my being in body, means these senses are absorbing everything. And they are not only absorbing everything, they are storing them. They are storing them into memory. And when they are storing them into memory, either I am aware about it or not, it doesn't, no matter I'm aware about it or not, I am getting attached to them unknowingly, because they are present in my mind, they are present in my intellect, they are present in my memory. So because they are present there within me, so unknowingly I am getting attached to everything that I come across. Things which I don't like, things which I like, everything I get attached. Now what happens when everything, I get attached to everything? What happens? Sangyat sanjayate kaman. With attachment is born desire. This attachment happens without my notice. There is something where I'm attached. That is what I know. But I am not aware that wherever I'm going, whatever I'm coming across, knowingly or unknowingly, I'm getting attached to everything, and I'm bringing back everything within me. So I move from here to the market, and I'm going there to bring vegetables. I buy vegetables and I come back, and I think that I have just brought vegetables, but it's not that I have only brought vegetables. I have gathered every bits and pieces of objects which I have gone through, knowingly or unknowingly, into the market and return. So every day we are just gathering, we are just accumulating like millions and millions of objects within our mind, within our memory. We are not aware about this. We are not aware about this, but we are just gathering, like millions and millions of objects. And when they are within our system, we are also getting attached to them. We are also getting attached to them, but this is also what we don't know. That we have already become attached to them. We are not aware about that. We are attached to them and we don't know about it. It's a very dangerous situation. I'm getting attached to everything which I encounter, but I'm not aware about that. This is also a very dangerous situation. So sanjayate kaman. I'm going through things. And I'm getting attached to everything. And what happens is that sanjat sanjayate kaman. Because of this attachment, they bring desires. They give birth to desires. So I have desires. I have desires about this. I have desires about that. Now, this desire is a very dangerous thing. Spirituality, or the gurus, or the wise men, they have always warned us not to get involved with desires, because these desires, when they come with one or two objects. Like I have a desire to have this. So when I have a desire to have this, I have this, and my desire is fulfilled. Is it so? Is it not? It is not so. When I have a desire of, say, A, I have a desire of A, and when I meet that A, my desire is extended into B. So I attain A, but I am not satisfied. So my desire is extended into B. So then I run after B. I run after B, and then I achieve B. But the moment I achieve B, my desires, they run into C. So then I have another target, another goalpost. Now I am running after C. So the moment I am running after C, on this process, my desire has already crossed D, E, F, G, H, I, J. So I am in C, and my desires are in like H, K, L, M, N. It's moving. So this is a desire which is a fire which does not get extinguished. Desires are such a fire which does not get extinguished, and one should not run after the desires. And that is why when Krishna had talked about this person who is an enlightened soul, the first thing that he told was, a person who can separate himself from the desires. Most of us, or all of us, like maybe 0.1 of us is capable of separating themselves from the desires. But leaving them, this whole mass at large, we are all running after desires. Why? Because we think that desires are a part of our existence. This is my desire. I think that this is my desire, and I'm running after that. And I think that when I fulfill this desire, I'm going to achieve fulfillment. But the more you attain your desire, you will see that you are becoming less and less fulfilled. You feel yourself to be less and less complete. The more you run after these desires. So this is not, these desires are not not the tools for which you can attain completeness, you can attain fulfillment. This is not the tool. This cannot be. And that is why one should not run after desires. In the Bhagavad Gita, in a different place, Krishna has said something about desire. What is desire? The dangerous aspect of desire. He says that abritam jnana metena jnanino abritam jnana metena jnaninam nittavairinam jnanino nittavairinam. Abritam jnanam etena jnaninam nittavairinam. What does this desire do? They mask the wisdom. They cover the wisdom. They separate the wisdom from you. They block the wisdom, Your wisdom is completely blocked because of desires. You have more desires, your wisdom is completely blocked. So, abritam jnana metena, these desires are the one which blocks your knowledge or wisdom or your intuition or your intuition or your intelligence, or your intelligence. Abritam jnana metena jnanino nittavairinam. This desire is an eternal enemy of the wise. These desires are an eternal enemy of the wise. Why? Because they block the wisdom. Abritam jnana metena jnanino nittavairinam. Kam rupena konteya duspurena analena cha. Kam rupena konteya. You don't know, this kama, these desires. Oh son of Kunti, these desires is a fire which will never be extinguished. You cannot set this fire, you cannot set this fire off. This is going to burn and burn, and in this process it's going to burn you, and that is why everybody is burnt. You see the life of people. Wherever you go, people are all burnt. They are all frustrated. They're suffering from dementia. They're suffering from depression. They're suffering from so many mental issues. Why? Because they're all burnt. Now, how are they burnt? They are not burnt because of this world. Nobody has burnt them. It is their own desires that have burnt them. You are also going to burn yourself. And you are actually burning yourself. Because you think that this desire that you have, it's a part of you, and it's your duty to follow your desires. This is what you think. But you don't know that these desires are taking you towards hell. It's taking you towards hell. And that is why, the desires never get fulfilled. So don't run after desires. How does the process of going from lower desire to higher desire to liberation work when trying to think of the self or God? Because the desires does not go. Thank you, Yuri. Because the desires does not go. It's a part of, because, it's not desires. It's the mind which is creating the desires all the time. The desires cannot be created. They cannot create themselves, on their own. They don't have their own identity. They don't have their own existence. It is the mind which is always creating desire. These thousands and millions of objects that is present within my mind, which I have accumulated knowingly or unknowingly, mostly unknowingly, and the mind gets attached to them and they want to attain them. And, when they want to attain them, how will they attain them? They are not satisfied by attaining them in the mental level. They want it in the physical level. So they need to go out and get, they need to go out and they need to, they need to attain them. So they create this false, the false necessity. They create this false necessity. I need that. They create this false necessity, and this false necessity is perceived by me. I'm this ignorant soul. I'm this ignorant person, the fool. This artificial necessity that my mind has created, to reach that object of desire in the external world. In the external world, this necessity I perceive to be my own necessity, my own medium of attaining peace, my own medium of attaining bliss, fulfillment, joy, happiness. But this is a artificial one. The moment you attain that, the mind will create another, because there are like millions and millions of them inside, and every moment you are accumulating more and more. So there is no end of that. So you attain something and the mind creates another. You run after that, you run after that. So this is an unending fire, and you fall in this fire and ultimately you get burned. Okay? And that is why Krishna says that Kama Rupena Kwanteya Dushpurena Analena Cha. It is like this. So how to get rid of all these desires, which Yuri has asked? There are so many desires. Every time my mind is creating like million. It says that one person thinks 50,000 thoughts every day. So if the person thinks 50,000 thoughts every day, that means we have these 50,000 desires every day. Now if I am living for like 20 years, so 20 years into 50,000 into 365, this is the number of desires that I have now at the age of 20. You become 40 into 2, you become 60 into 3. So these, they like, as you grow, you are just having this millions and millions and billions and billions of desires. That is why our life is so difficult. This is the only reason why our life is difficult, because of this. So now what has to be done? You need to concentrate on one desire. That is the desire to attain God, or the desire to attain the self. Because this is the only desire which is attainable. The others are not attainable. You think that if I desire for God, it's not going to attain, I cannot get it, I'm not going to attain it. But actually the only desire which can be attained is the desire for God, because God is the reality. And the other desires that you have, they cannot be fulfilled because they are not real. They seem to be real, but they are not real. So, because you are running after something which does not exist. So you are running after something which does not exist. You will keep running and running and running, and you will not find it. So any desires in the external world does not get fulfilled, because the objects of desires does not exist. And that is why it's called a Maya. With this ignorance, we are all like masked, where our eyes are covered, we cannot see. So whatever comes, we think it's true, and we just run after them. I go to the Guru says, hey, you need to desire yourself. You need to desire your God. And only when you desire for God, only when you desire for self, then all these desires are going to vanish. Now, what is the science behind it? When your desire for God is getting more and more stronger, when your desire for the self, realizing self, is getting more and more stronger, then your desire is getting completed. And as your desire is getting completed, the other desires which will never be completed, they are also, they're diminishing. They are in the process of diminishing. So they're diminishing. And as they're diminishing, your desires, your perception or your, dedication about this given desire for God increases. So when you attain God, then you see that the only real desire that a person can have in his lifetime is to attain the self or God, because the self and God is real. They are truth, they exist. And that is why if you desire, then you attain them. And when you attain them, then you know the reality that all these other things after which you are running, they were not existing. Na sate vidyate bhavo, na bhavo vidyate sata. This is what Krishna had said at one time. Na sate vidyate bhavo. The one which does not the one which is not real will never exist. They don't exist. The one which is not real does not exist at all. And the one which is real will always exist. They will never be inexistent. Understand? And that is why the master tells you to, that is why the master tells you to go after God, because that is the only desire which is attainable. Okay? So, and what was Devashish Babu saying? I didn't get, I was just talking. Devashish Babu, can you live chat? Where is that live chat? Devashish Babu, can you again send me that, what you have written? I could not see, because I was talking and it